active shooter prevention expert,
drone expert,
body language expert,
energy expert,
casino game protection and cheating expert,
expert on Russia.
How could the experts be so dead wrong?
Great question, Quinnell X, activist and leader of the new Black Panther Nation. How is it that experts are so often so wrong?
Be a millionaire before I'm 20, and this is how.
Brexit, either of Trump's elections, the financial crisis of, well, pick a year, I guess. Experts really can't seem to catch a break. They're making mistakes left, right, and center. And it's not just talking heads on TV either. Remember, Amber Heard paid this guy.
You compared pirates to the depositions given in this case.
Then I apologize for what I said.
Good money to be her expert witness in that famous trial against Johnny Depp.
Do I have to answer that question, Your Honor?
You have to answer questions. Yes, sir.
Experts, stupid or corrupt.
¿Por qué no los dos?
There are, of course, times where the expert is in fact just naive.
Be a millionaire before I'm 20, and this is how.
Often, expert advice is optimized for people just like themselves, and it's given without really taking into account how different the starting positions of their audience really may be.
I work for my dad's company. That money then goes into real estate, where I get some passive income I get to go spend. So every year, that principal doubles, triples, it stacks on top of each other, and over time, that principal in real estate will make me a millionaire.
Okay, I don't want to rip into a 14-year-old too hard here, but there are a couple of problems with that. One, most people are not Grant Cardone's daughter, and two, most people don't have access to real estate investments that yield 200 to 300% annual returns. Okay, it's editing time. I just had to look into this. If she has access to something that has 200% rate of return, that means her money is going to double every year. Assuming she is also a millionaire at the age of 20, let's just see where that takes us. By the time she's 30, she's going to be a billionaire. By the time she's 40, she's going to be a trillionaire. Now, at 45, this is where it gets a little bit silly. She's going to have a net worth which is greater than the US GDP, and it's going to be greater than the world's GDP at age 47. 49 years old, she is going to have more net worth than the entirety of the world. If she survives till 60, she's going to be worth more than $1 quintillion, which would actually be enough money to make everyone on Earth as rich as Elon Musk. This is quite the real estate investment. I really hope she shares it. One challenge is that some topics are so complicated or so random that you can't actually have experts in that discipline. These are known as low validity fields.
I'm going to show you the 3 roulette systems I play when I go to the casino.
Now, tragically, this is real life. There are people out there who claim to be gambling experts in things like roulette. This guy alone has over 1,800 videos. And what's worse is there seem to be people who are taking his advice seriously. Just check out some of these comments. I love these videos where you really show what you can actually use in the casino. Good stuff. Might try these strategies soon. Bro, this is awesome. Please do more videos like this. You can also cover and mention the donks for each strategy, please. Great video. Thanks for sharing. Now, hopefully everyone here knows that there are no valid strategies for gambling, for games of pure chance. It's one of the main reasons that casinos are so profitable.
Donald Trump, he wanted casino gambling in Florida.
I did.
Yes, you did.
Usually so profitable. So imagine a king who, for whatever reason, wanted to increase the number of girls to boys in his kingdom.
Peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat.
So the king passes a law. The law says you must continue to have children until you have a boy, which means that you could have 10 girls in a row before you have a boy, and only once you have a boy you stop. But as soon as you have a boy, you have to stop. Now, this is designed to increase the number of girls in the kingdom.
Right.
It's the sort of system that sounds good in theory, but it really doesn't change the fact that any individual event is still going to be a 50-50 odds. What's going to happen is that every family who has children is going to have a boy, because that's the end condition for that particular thing. It could be one boy or it could be 10 girls followed by one boy, but they're always going to have one boy.
He's the one.
Girls, on the other hand, slightly different. Chances of having your first girl is 50-50, the same as a boy. So it's 0.5. The next thing is if you have 2 girls, well, that's actually 0.5 times 0.5, so that's 0.25. And then if you have 3 girls, it's 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5 is 0.125, and so on and so on. So it gets increasingly unlikely that you're going to have more and more girls. So if you actually add those up, it's a geometric sequence. If you actually add those up, well, 0.5 plus 0.25 plus 1.25 is in fact a limit, and it adds up to 1. So every family, in fact, is going to have statistical chance of having one girl and one boy on average.
No way!
Okay, so it's statistically impossible to have experts in pure games of chance, but what about really complicated fields like history or economics? I wonder what the internet experts have to say about, say, American history and what we can learn from that going forward.
The rising American empire.
The 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 American Empire is now over.
Fantastic. So America is an empire, and one that's probably going to end soon because, well, all the other empires in the past have also ended. Which is a bit like saying you're going to die soon because everyone who has preceded you has also eventually died. Which I guess is technically true.
The best kind of correct.
But not very helpful. So here's a list of the significant empires in history, from which we should probably exclude those that were founded over 1,000 years ago. And because America is very capitalist, let's also exclude the insular non-trading empires as well. And America does tend to export its culture, so let's exclude those with very limited cultural projection. So what we have left is meaningless. This is obviously cherry picking.
All right, Dad, this is a $180 box of Japanese cherries.
Anyone who tells you that they can divine what's going to happen to modern America based on what happened to, say, the Dutch Empire from 300 years ago is delusional. It's almost incomprehensible how you could say that a hyper-connected modern world with social media and 8 countries that have nuclear weapons, how you can determine that that's going to collapse because of what the Dutch did in the 1600s. That's nonsense. In fact, it's so bad, such a small sample set, it's genuinely delusional. I have no idea how they can say this with a straight face.
And then direct you to my book if you want more.
Let's face it, if history were a genuinely useful tool for predicting the future, you would see headlines like, "Historian makes millions of dollars by investing in stock market." And you don't see those headlines for the same reason you don't see headlines like, "Psychic wins lottery." Again. There's also the question of what constitutes expertise. I wanted to increase my flexibility recently, so I popped onto YouTube looking for tutorials. I found hundreds, possibly thousands of yoga instructors and the like who are all able to contort themselves into even the most controversial of positions. So they post their daily stretching routines and their tips and tricks, and we think, wow, they can do the splits. That must be fantastic. They must be an expert who knows what they're talking about. But here's the problem. Their starting position is not the same as my starting position. On average, most of those yoga instructors are 20 years old, female, and already pretty flexible. I, on the other hand, am in my mid-40s, I'm male, and I haven't been able to touch my toes since the Spice Girls broke up. Her advice is likely to be very good at staying flexible. It is, however, unlikely to be very good about becoming flexible, especially from my starting position. So the next time someone is trying to tell you something or sell you something, you really need to ask yourself, why are they saying what they're saying? Is it possible that this person is in fact wrong or mistaken, or possibly they're just plain stupid?
Sir? Yeah. Oh my fucking god.
Cheers. Now, please do all of the normal YouTube things, like, subscribe, comment, all of that. I have no idea how this works yet. We'll work it out together. Cheers.
Raise a fist to Beefy-Cat. Hear the crowd roar, Beefy-Cat.
You compared pirates to the depositions given in this case.
Then I apologize.